if you are not sure, if you're in the group, and I'm just waiting to connect, and then Pope will get started, and I will get you all the way together. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Super excited you made it. All right. Whenever you're ready.
What up? What up? What
Go ahead.
up? It's Pope and Ty, where we speak the truth. We don't tell you a lie. So we are back for the new year, and we are ready, back stronger than ever. How you feeling tonight?
Amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about inflammation. You know, that's how we started. We talked about detoxification and inflammation. So I just feel like we're gearing up for an amazing new year. I'm so glad we made it here. I'm so glad you made it here. It's been rough. You guys know it's been rough. And this came from a place of both of us just wanting to help and be of service. So I'm just super excited. Super excited you guys are watching. All right. I got a 1 in here. Awesome.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started soon. Whenever you're ready.
Yep. So I always like to take the first couple of seconds of each show to highlight any local brands that I'm wearing. And tonight I am wearing XI11, which is a local 17-year-old entrepreneur. So I encourage everybody to support your local brands. Now let's talk about inflammation tonight. This is important.
Yes, it absolutely is important. What a lot of us don't know is that inflammation is a part of daily life. So I did get a 1. So I know that you guys are kind of aware of what inflammation is, how it happens, is what I'm going to be explaining to you, how it happens, the etiology, the epidemiology, all the fancy stuff. And then I'm going to teach you how it applies to your life and how we can keep it out of our life or keep it reduced so that it will not grow into disease. So all disease, I don't care what it is, starts with inflammation, right? So I told you guys about that before. I also talked to you about high levels of toxicity. So those go hand in hand. Inflammation and toxicity work together. They go together. They like each other. They marry. They cause problems. Not the type of married we want to be. So we are actually going to work together. I'm going to teach you how inflammation can happen in your body, how it happens in our daily lives. It's just a part of what we do every single day. So there's going to be an opportunity for inflammation every single day. It doesn't matter how good, how perfect your diet is. It doesn't matter if you get everything right. It doesn't matter if you have a chef. It doesn't matter if you cook all of your meals or don't cook any of your meals. Inflammation is just a part of being a human. It just is what it is. I get inflamed. That's why I tell you guys, I continue to make sure that detoxing is a part of my daily life. So there are a lot of different ways that inflammation and inflammatory responses can show up in the body. Now, we have different levels of inflammation. So you can just have like a basic inflammation. You can have like a normal, it's called more of a normal level of inflammation. It can go all the way up to acute and and excessive inflammation, okay, into toxicity. So let me get on my notes here. Please, again, let me know if you have any questions. If you would like them to be private, tap the question bar, the little question mark, and then you can actually put it in there and then it'll have your name on it, but I won't say your name if you're not interested in me saying your name or if you're not interested in me going into any personal details. So I'll answer as much as I can for you. All right. So let's get on into it. So inflammation can be linked to every single acute, inflammatory, irritating, difficult, hard to explain, that group of diagnoses that we don't quite know. Doctors often don't quite know exactly what it is. So they kind of give you something that's similar to it. It usually is caused by inflammation. So some examples of inflammatory diseases are Crohn's. Let's go into it. Let me read those off for you first. So inflammation includes pain, redness, swelling, immobility, and heat. So I want you guys to think about this. So we all have dealt with this. So all of us have had, like, when we eat something or we eat something spicy, we get the hot tummy, you get the hot burp, right? You feel it in your throat, kind of burns a little bit. That's inflammation. I know we don't think it is. And we kind of think like, oh, it's no big deal. It's not that big a deal. It is a big deal, but it's just not at a higher level. So even that little hot tummy, or when we just feel like we're trying to cool our insides off, that's inflammation. Your body is responding in an inflammatory way, letting you know whatever has gone on, whatever you've consumed, whatever environment you're in, is actually inflammatory to your body. So it's inflaming your body's tissues and it's causing you some issues. Pain, redness, swelling, immobility, and heat. So I want you to think about that even in your daily lives. Like at the end of the day, are you feeling sore? Are you feeling uncomfortable? Those types of things are inflammation. Inflammation can also come up in the form of fatigue, mouth sores, including like ulcers, when we get like the little bumps on our tongue. I'll tell you guys, I've been detoxing. I detoxed for the last maybe 3 weeks of December. I tell you guys, I detox all the time. It's a part of my daily life. It's a part of, you know, one of those things that you need to do. You have a human body. You got to learn how to detoxify your body. You don't know how to do it. That's what I'm here for. So, and I actually had a couple of my taste buds get really super swollen. And that was letting me know, if I didn't know in the beginning, of course I didn't know. I was like, oh my God, I'm dying, like something's going on here. But you're actually releasing toxicity from your body at such an increased rate that it's gonna come out anywhere you can. So you're gonna sweat more, you're probably gonna get some headaches, you probably are gonna be a little bit more sleepy. But for me, it was a little bit of all of those because I've been sleeping really good. But my tongue, I started getting these big, giant bits where my tongue, my taste bud was just super swollen. And it would only happen for a few hours. But I noticed during that time, because I know what to do, and maybe you guys, you have seen this with your body before, drink some more water. Make sure you get some more water. Your body's releasing inflammation. And I hate to sound gross, but I want you guys to know your body's not gross. It has some biological systems. They may not be the most pleasant. You just don't understand them. So when those taste buds on my tongue swelled up, they also had to release. So it tastes like salt. It just tastes like, you know, tastes like your insides. It's kind of salty and it kind of explodes in your mouth and it's gross, of course. You spit it out or whatever. It's just a part of being human. But that is a release of toxicity that was probably trapped inside of your body. And in my case, it was in my tongue. So releasing that was another opportunity for my body to reduce inflammation and also to detoxify. So I want you to think about that as a part of your daily life. So I have a question. I'm gonna go ahead and just constipation. Okay, yeah, so constipation actually can come from many different things in your body. Constipation is an inflammatory response in your body. Also, if you're continuously having constipation, let me know, send me another question, the person who just sent me that question. Let me know if you have another, send me if it's a chronic constipation. Are you always constipated? Is it certain times during the month? Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon or after certain meals? So give me a little bit more information so I can help you with that. But I can give you some more information in regards to constipation because it could be an inflammation of your digestive tissues, or it could be an over toxicity in your body overall. So there could be a couple different things going on. So send me a little bit more information and I'll come right back to that for you. So like I said, mouth sores, ulcers, you know how when you brush your teeth and then we scratch, right? And we're like, oh, right? So that sucks, right? And we're either hoping, oh my God, I hope it doesn't turn into a mouth ulcer. Those are the cold sore. Those are called actually mouth ulcers. So it doesn't mean that, oh, your body's just dirty. I know we often hear that phrase that our mouths are dirtier than like dogs. Like there's no comparison, you guys. Don't think of your body like that. Your body is brilliant. Stop letting people tell you these things, trying to dumb down your brilliant body. Yes, there's bacteria in our mouth, straight up. Yes, there's bacteria inside of our body. The truth of the matter is, you guys, we're more bacteria than human DNA. Think about that. So yes, there is more bacteria than a dog because that's normal because we're more bacteria than human DNA. And we were made that way. It's brilliant the way that we're created because all of those bacteria, they're unique from one another. I've taught you guys about bioindividuality, but they're unique in a way that they allow us the opportunity to function in this world. They allow us the opportunity to keep the human DNA, the little bit of human DNA that we actually have, allows us to stay healthy and allows us to reproduce and allows us to reproduce what we truly desire for ourselves. Go back to what I was telling you guys. So I really want you to understand identify your core values for your brilliant body, right? So I'm gonna talk about my homie Pope right here. So he is gonna be on all of the screens. He's gonna be all of the billboards, right? Handling business, making Black businesses, building Black businesses, making legacy for his son, right? So he doesn't wanna be unhealthy, right? You don't want to be unhealthy. You don't want to be having to roll around, your 50 acres or whatever in your go-kart. You want to run. You want to chase after your boys. You want to chase after your grandkids, right? You want to hold your business summits. You don't want to feel like you can't, you're out of breath. I know what he desires for himself because we've talked. So his core values identify with keeping his body healthy and wealthy so that he can be healthy and wealthy throughout his life, so that he can hold his conferences, so that he can do 6, 7 shows in one run and still go out and do his jogs or whatever he's going to do, so that he can get on his private jet and not have to worry about his feet swelling up, so that he can get on his private jet and not have to worry about heart palpitations or any other diseases or issues that may happen. So he doesn't have diabetes in his older days, or, he can't fit into whatever black label he decides to wear. So think about those things. Think about having your mind work in a way that you desire for it to work, supporting you, making sure that he's talked to us about how he was in his past. He doesn't want to ever have to get back in that dark space. So think about what your core values are for your brilliant body. What do you want this brilliant body to accomplish for you and allow you to do? Inflammation and toxicity is not going to allow you the opportunity to do that. It's not going to allow you. Okay, let me go back to this question. She gave me some more info here. Okay. So yes, so I'll come back to that. Thank you so much for giving more information. I'll come back to your the more information that you gave me. That's awesome. So I'll come back to that. But yes, there is some information I can give you. So chest pain, abdominal pain, fever, rash, joint pain. So chronic inflammation can occur in your full body, your whole body, and also can affect specifically your organs. So swelling and loss of function of blood vessels, that's vasculitis, enlargement of and loss of kidney function. So what I told you guys last week, right? Diabetes, end-stage renal disease, kidney issues, right? Non-alcoholic and or alcoholic renal disease, right? So you can have it either way. So swelling, edemas in the body, edemas in our muscles, overworking out, underworking out, right? And increase in, yes, obesity is absolutely inflammation, and it's an inflammatory response. You can also have obesity in your mind. So you can actually have a fatty brain. I know that sounds super weird. You have a fatty liver, you can have a fatty brain. You can increase that's why I tell you guys, don't necessarily focus on your size. You guys, I don't care what size you are fine, you are beautiful, you are brilliant, you were made that way. But an increased amount of fat cells in your body is creating a higher opportunity for toxicity. Toxicity increases inflammation. Inflammation is the beginning of all diseases. So I want to put that to rest right now. I don't care what size you are gorgeous, you are handsome, you are fine, you are all of that. But the truth of the matter is that the more fat you have in your body, the higher the fat cells, the more toxic you are. The more toxic you are, the more inflamed your body is, which is going to diminish your opportunity to live your most brilliant life, which is going to diminish the opportunity for you to be here with what we're supposed to be doing, deliver our brilliant gift, right? So that's what I'm talking about. I want you guys to focus on nutrition. Stop trying to fall for these tricks. Stop buying all these waist trainers and things like that and detox pills. And you guys, your body is brilliant. That's not going to work. The reason you keep going back to it is because it's not working. So then just stop. It's not working. It's never going to work. So I really want you to understand how brilliant your body is. Your body is so brilliant. It's letting you know that those gimmicks are not working, right? Because you keep going back to it, right? Your body is like, hey, it's not going to work. I told you it's not going to work. All right, I'm gonna let you lose these little 10 pounds, but next month we're gonna be up 20 pounds because it doesn't work. So I want you guys to truly think brilliantly about the way that you choose to nourish your body. I feel my mind is clogged as well. So yes, inflammation can affect your mind as well. Chronic fatigue, brain fog. There are lots of issues that could possibly be going on with your body. How can I heal it along with exercise and diet? So first of all, you need to detoxify your body. If you're not aware about detoxification, stick with me. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. You need to detoxify, and then you also need to increase your whole food nutrition. Y'all have been rolling with me. You know these are the words. Detox, whole food nutrition. Make sure you're getting enough water. Get those essential oils in your water. Get that mind right. Get the body together, right? It is. Your body is brilliant. So we'll get a little bit more into that. Thank you so much for your question. And I'll get right into that. All right, so causes of inflammation. So there isn't one thing that actually causes inflammation because of our unique bio-individuality. I've talked to you guys about that before. Bio-individuality means what's going to work for me isn't necessarily going to work for you, but because we're human, because we're both people here on the earth, there are some general and generic things that will work for all of us. Plant-based diet, essential oils, making sure we're getting enough rest, making sure we're getting enough water. There are some general things that will work for us. Herbs, making sure you're getting enough of certain types of herbs, putting together things that will work for you guys. I'm always in the lab creating. I got some really great stuff coming up for you this year. I'm working on a medicinal sea moss line, so I'm going to offer that to you all. And I'm also working on some juicing products, medicinal juicing. So everything I offer you is going to be medicinal. Guys, I'm not about the trends. I'm not about tricking your body. I respect your body too much than to give you something that's going to destroy you. Straight up. That's just me. So I know you guys follow other gurus. I know you guys may follow other people. I know that there may be some people who are like, oh my gosh, how does she lose all that weight? Or how does he look like that? Or what does he do? But guys, I respect your body. I believe and know that your body is brilliant. I'm not going to do anything to you that I wouldn't do myself first. So I want you guys to think really cognitively about that. I'm never going to make you feel bad about your body, and I'm never going to disrespect your body. So I really want you to begin to think more cognitively about how people are talking to you, including your medical professionals and including your Instagram, experts. So I can show you all my degrees if you need to. I have a master's degree in epidemiology. I'm working on being board certified right now. I'm actually going through the process, and I have a bachelor degree in health administration. I just wake up one day and just decide to do this. I invested in this so that I can invest in my community because I want you guys healthy and wealthy. We're on the planet here together. We're supposed to exchange. My gift to you is wealth, WELLTH, so that you can get the wealth, WEALTH, that you desire in your life, and you create the brilliant life that you truly desire for yourself. Okay, let me know if you have any more questions. Go ahead and post them. All right. So back to, I think it was Passport E-Poppy. So you asked a little bit about obesity. So yes, extra fatty tissue produces an inflammatory cytokine in the body. You don't need to know all that. It's super nerdy, but actually it's the same thing that I just told you. When you have more weight, you have more fat cells. Fat cells actually attract toxicity and store it. So the more fat cells you have, the more opportunity you have to store toxicity in your body. You're holding onto that toxicity in your body. It's reproducing additional fat cells, which are now toxic. And that's going to affect every single part of your body, increasing your inflammation. Inflammation is going to be the beginning of all diseases, which is going to diminish your immune system's ability to protect you, which is going to allow you to be very attracted to any disease, including COVID. So anything, cancers, because we come in contact with this stuff every single day. I know that you guys are sitting here, you probably think that you've avoided COVID, but the same thing with cancer and COVID, we've all encountered it. I don't care who you are, where you are. Your body did what it needed to do in order to protect you because our bodies are brilliant. But we need to continue to nourish, restore, support our brilliant bodies and what they know to instinctively do. Okay. All right, so inflammatory diseases, examples of diseases and conditions and situations that can result in acute inflammation. So sore throat due to a cold or flu. So see how it became, it was probably a cold, probably turned into a flu, and then it went, a part of that came from a sore throat. So it can manifest in different areas of your body. Have you guys ever, I told you guys maybe about a month ago where I had this little section right here of my arm that was constantly hurting me. Remember? And I was just like, what is going on here? Like it was be so sore to where I couldn't touch it. And I thought it was because of my watch. So I stopped wearing my watch and I was monitoring my food. Of course, I'm very vigilant about monitoring what I've eaten, but I actually needed to detoxify my body. Now, I don't know why it manifested here, but I don't want you guys to overlook when your body is sharing something with you like that. If you have a sore spot, or at the end of the night, if maybe just your elbow kind of hurts, or maybe your back only hurts in one certain spot, your body has myofascial tissue, and you can actually hold stress in those areas, which break down that tissue, and that breakdown in tissue is going to cause an inflammatory response. That inflammation is going to create what? Disease. So it's going to allow you the opportunity to be more attracted to diseases because there's more toxicity in your body. So I know that they seem like small things, but they're actually large things in the grand scheme of your whole body. Okay, skin wounds such as a cut, infected or ingrown toenails or ingrown hairs, or when you have like cystic acne or any type of cysts of any type in your body. Physical and or acute trauma to the body. This trauma is not just a trauma that happened on the outside, but even as far as negative thoughts. I want you guys to think about that, or unaddressed trauma, or inflammatory relationships. I talked to you guys about a little bit about that before, but we're going to go into that a little bit deeper. So the same way you can eat certain foods that can cause you bubble guts and make you constipated and give you a headache and things like that, there are certain people, there are certain energies, there are certain frequencies, there are certain, sometimes you don't want to hear their voice, you don't want to see their name. I don't want you to just think that that's a personality conflict, because remember, we're more than what we consume on our plate. There is life macros, not just food macros. So if there are people that are not feeding into you, that are not giving you energy, that are not giving you life, making you feel good, making you grateful to be here and share time and space with them, those are inflammatory relationships. They're diminishing to your immune system as well. Okay? So you really need to think about how you'd like to maneuver those relationships and how you'd like to maybe transition or transform or even cut them off, because there's no opportunity for them to be beneficial for you, especially if you choose to identify what your core values are for your brilliant body, right? Think about that. What are the core values? What do I want this body to permit me the opportunity to experience? Because that's what it is. It's a gift, it's a vehicle. So just let's think about the car again, right? If we're putting the right gas in, we're finally got that together, but then we have somebody that keep coming out and keying the car every single day. And we just think, oh, that's my neighbor. And they just keep keying your car. Oh, that's my auntie or my sister. They don't care. You're working so hard to create this brilliant body. You've even got the gas together, because that's what we say. Usually we don't even know what to put in. We finally got the right gas. We know how to keep it clean. We're vacuuming the inside, right? We're making sure we get it together. We're making sure we get the tires done on time, making sure we get the oil taken care of and everything like that. But somebody keep coming out, scratching every single day. And we're like, why do you keep doing that? Right? What is going on here? Those are inflammatory relationships. I want you to think about that. You are the vehicle. Those are inflammatory relationships. And it may be time for you to address them because they're causing you health issues. Okay? So go ahead. You have more?
No, I was saying because they'll also, create triggers. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
you can't understand why you want to resort to drinking, why you want to resort to overeating, is because that negative energy of just it is bringing triggers, and you start to get those triggers.
Yes, and I don't want you to think of your triggers as a negative thing. I want you to use your triggers as a neutral opportunity for you to learn something about yourself, right? So if somebody triggered you, I don't want you to be like, oh my God, I'm triggered. That means I failed my little class and y'all is gonna be mad at me. That's not what it's about. I really want you to take the opportunity and identify, why did that make me feel like that? Was that on purpose? Or is there an area in me, an opportunity for me to still resolve something? Is there some healing that I need? Am I still overeating when I get frustrated? Do I still feel like I need to drink when I get mad? Am I not able to use my words still? Guys, there's nothing wrong with that. You are human. This is your first time being human. You've never been human at this age, at this time, right in the middle of pandemic, post first pandemic, year one. Give yourself some grace. Be gentle with yourself. You are allowed that opportunity. Just because you're a grown-up, just because we made it to adulthood, doesn't mean the learning stops, and it doesn't mean the evolving stops. We're continuing to evolve. We're continuing to learn. We're continuing to care for ourselves. We're continuing to resolve. We're continuing to build. So please give yourself the opportunity and the space and the grace to do that. Be gentle with yourself throughout the duration of this process. You don't have to know everything, and you won't know everything. I have a question. Okay, I'm so sorry about that, honey. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so in regards to cancer, let me tell you this. So that lets me know as a professional that inflammation runs in your family. And that's okay. Inflammation runs in anybody's family, most people's family, everybody's family. However, because it continues from generation to generation, that means that there needs to be some changes. There needs to be some changes in the way that you choose nutrition for yourself, whole food nutrition, and there needs to be a way that maybe you can sit down, maybe you can set up a consultation with me so we can talk a little bit more. But in regards to you having a maternal history of cancer, that means that there is an issue possibly with the way that you absorb nutrition, you and your family, because you're related, the way that you guys are choosing to nourish yourself. So certain foods are not working for you because this continues from generation to generation. And then also there just could be a propensity because of these things that you've been taught. So it doesn't mean that your family necessarily taught you the wrong thing, but they didn't know what to teach you to heal your body, to allow you the opportunity to be disease proof, basically. So when that continues to come up, especially because you're dealing with constipation, especially because it's so consistent, it sounds like, and because you have abdominal pain, I would think that the first thing I would want for you to do, identify your core values, because it sounds like this is not what you want for yourself because you shared it with me. So it sounds like you don't want to have to fall into that. You don't want your babies or your family or your future to fall into that. So identify what you truly desire for yourself. Next, I want you to look at your whole food nutrition. I have some amazing options. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about after we're done with this, that you can get on. And whole food nutrition, that's all it is, whole foods. Farm to capsule, farm to powder, whatever it is you want to use. I'm telling you that this is the best source because I've looked for it for myself. I'm never going to give you something that I don't use myself, you guys. And I'm never going to give you something that's like made up or in a lab. Like, I'm not that kind of person. Like, we were designed to use what's in this earth. God gave us what's in this earth to heal, restore, nourish, rebuild, detoxify these brilliant bodies. We are not science experiments. So all of that supplements and things, yeah, there are some things that can get you over a hump. Yeah, there's some things that can get you over a few gaps, but your body was made for whole food nutrition. Whole food nutrition is going to be what helps you. Whole food nutrition is going to help your body restore. Whole food nutrition is easily bioavailable and recognizable to your body. Your body's like, oh yeah, that's what I need. Let me go ahead and get this together. Come on, immune system. She gave us A, B, C, and D in regards to your vitamins so we can do what we need to do. So supporting your body and making the changes required to allow you the opportunity to avoid what has gone on in your family. And this is what B just told me this week, changing that legacy. So yes, there was a legacy of cancer, but it stops here, right? Because I'm gonna make sure I do what I need to do in order to change my diet, to understand, you can start with your blood type. What's my blood type? Okay, your blood type will tell you how your body responds to certain immune system stimulation, as well as digestive stimulation. And that'll give you a little bit more of a kind of like a guideline to help you know where to start in regards to your food and nutrition. So I would say to start there, identify your core values, focus on whole food nutrition. You can set up an appointment with me if you're interested, hit up my link tree. But that's where I would start. And that constipation, it sounds like to me, is just a side effect of what's going on in your life in other areas. So you might not be getting enough nutrition. You're probably not sure how to nourish your body. Okay. I just need to know the letter. What letter are you? I know you said RH negative, but what letter? And it sounds like that's what your body is desiring. Your body needs the support, minerals, vitamins, phytonutrients, all of that good stuff in order for it to continue to help you stay healthy and healthy. So let me know. All right, acute bronchitis, sinusitis, dermatitis. Listen, y'all, I constantly tell you this. Anytime you have a skin issue, that is automatically letting you know that there is some inflammation in your body. There's an inflammatory response. So let me show you this. So I've been detoxing, I told you guys, for about 3 weeks. So usually my skin just flourishes and it's wonderful and all of that good stuff, which is normal. It's a normal part of the process because you're getting toxicity out. But I want you guys to know, let me see if you guys can see it. So there's 2 little bitty spots right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. They kind of look a little bit raised. I know you guys are like, I don't see anything, Tynesia, but I know on my body. So what happened was during week 3, I started to kind of get a little itchy right here. And I'm like, oh, okay. I know, because this is my brilliant body, that is letting me know that my body's releasing toxicity. And although it's tiny, the first time I detoxed, you guys, all of this was raw, all the way down. It hurts so bad. And of course, the first thing we think, oh my gosh, this detox is killing me, let me stop, right? Because we're not taught to detox. We're not taught that that's a normal part of the process. So there's some pictures on my Instagram, so check that out. But these, I want you guys, like, for me, this is amazing because I remember when I first started, my entire head, all of this was raw. My cheeks were raw. I didn't want to go outside. It was embarrassing. It was hard. My little chin right here was all red, raw. Like, you know how you see psoriasis or eczema, but my body needed to shed that toxicity, right? It needs to get out. And what I was doing, if I didn't know what I was doing, I would have stopped. Oh my gosh, I did this detox and it's not working. And oh my gosh, it's making things worse, or I'm allergic to it. But I was actually shedding toxicity in my body. So even here, what we are 15 years later, still making it a process of continuing to detoxify my body. And I'm in week 3, and all I have are these 2 little bitty red spots, right? So you continue to push toxicity out. That's why I want you guys to know. I live this life and I'm still absorbing toxicity because I'm human. So don't let anybody fool you. Hey, take these little pills, take this little whatever, and you're going to be fine in 30 days. That's not what happens. That's not what happens. It's not the truth of what your body needs. Remember, I told you at the beginning, think more brilliantly about your body. Your body is brilliant. It knows what it's doing. So you give it what it needs, it's going to do exactly what it needs to do to keep you healthy and wealthy. Okay?
And what I love about the way you teach is that you talk about it's a skill set.
It
Like
is.
it's
It is.
like when you learn the skill set of your
Mm-hmm.
body,
Mm-hmm.
you'll learn the natural transitions
Mm-hmm.
that happen. And so that's why we do what we do every week, because
Yes.
that skill set, that understanding, the comprehension is
Yes.
coming in, and you have to hear these things over and
Over and over.
over and over.
Because it's a skill set. Yeah, because it's a skill set. You're exactly right. So the first time, it isn't just, oh my gosh, I got it. I know it. I heard it once. Okay, let me do A, B, and C. And you guys, the more you listen to me, I know lots of big fancy words and it's probably confusing, but I told you, stick with me. I got you. It's not just one time, because it took me that too. It took me that time too. I was searching. Oh my gosh, something's wrong with my body. I don't know how to fix it. Okay, I can't listen to that. Oh, let me take a little bit of that. Oh, I need to get more. Oh, I could put essential oils in my water. Oh, I can do that. Oh, okay. That's not the best quality nutrition. Oh, let me read this label. Oh, it's not just an apple. Like, I had to really, that was a skill set, one foot in front of the other. I tell you guys, the same way we learned how to walk, right? I told you the analogy last week. You probably don't remember. Some of you do. I do remember. So you kind of watch the adults around you. Hey, I got 2 of those. Okay, I think I can stand up. Let me hold on this table, right? Let me do this little bounce a little bit. I'm gonna figure out how to do this. One of these days, I'm gonna let this table go and try it out, right? And even as adults, we don't fall as much as we used to, right? Because we know how to walk now. But there are times when you fall. So that's the same thing with being human and toxicity. There's toxicity in our air, there's toxicity in our environments. Guys, I'm sitting in a room right now, which I'm sure has been many, many years being built. There's still, we can't see it, but there's emissions even leaking from this room that I constantly have to make sure I detoxify my body. I have an air purifier. I make sure I detox my body every single month. So these are normal part of having a human body. I want you to understand that. A part of owning a human body is that you must detoxify it. It's a part of the process. It's a normal part of the process, but it's wellness as a skill set, and we aren't taught that, okay? It's not something that we're taught in our homes because it's not something that was taught to us. Unless you grew up in a family where wellness was a part of whoever's, history. And that's the only way you would really learn it. Like I said, my big mama used to be like, no, we're not using that. Let me make you a hot toddy. Let me make you some tincture. So there are some things that we know instinctively. Oh, you don't need that. For gas, let me talk about gas. So when I used to get gas when I was younger, my grandmother was like, just drink some hot water. And I remember doing that and I remember feeling better. But as I got older, right, you see stuff on TV. Oh, I need to buy that. I need to get this. I need to get that. And honestly, none of it never really worked. But I can always go back to get me some hot water and that gas comes right on out of my body. Right. So those types of things is what I want you to think. Even with babies, my niece, when she was born and she would get a gassy tummy, I would warm up her little bottle of water and she would drink it and she'd be perfectly fine. But now we think we gotta bounce and try to do this and then the little drops in the mouth and like we're doing all of this stuff when we've been given, some of us have been given the basics of a wellness skill set, but we didn't see it like that. We call them just these old remedies or folk remedies. That is wellness as a skill set. Hot toddies are wellness as a skill set. Why did it have to be onions? Why did it have to be garlic? Right? We don't think about that. Why was there alcohol involved? Why did it need to be cooked? Your parent, your big mama, your auntie, whoever it was, your granddad was making a tincture for your body. That's wellness as a skill set. We have gotten away from that. And those are the types of things that I want you to truly begin to understand and hear again from me every single week. Wellness is a skill set that you need to learn. It's a part of the package. When you get blessed with a human body, there are things that you will need to learn in order to keep you healthy and wealthy. Okay, Hydra. Oh, wow. So yes, thank you so much for sharing so much. I appreciate you so much. So yes, all of this, everything that you're sharing with me is from a high level of inflammation and toxicity in your body. And it does sound like if that's your nephew, you just said your nephew, that actually is, it runs in your family, it sounds like to me. The propensity for a higher level of inflammation and having an inflammatory response like that. So yes, please go back to what I said. Make sure you identify your core values, focus on whole food nutrition, and please, please, please set up an appointment with me so we can go a little more in detail, because I'd love to help you if you're interested. Okay. All right. So let's talk about some chronic inflammatory diseases that we do not think are chronic inflammatory diseases. So asthma, I know everyone thinks that they're born with asthma. You are not. Now, you can be born with the propensity for asthma because of high toxicity, right? High toxicity and high inflammation and inflammatory response, heart disease, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, chronic peptic ulcer, systemic lupus, periodontitis, right? So bleeding in the gums, and we talked about that a little bit last week as well. So that can be a sign of inflammation. It can also be a nutritional deficiency. They often go hand in hand, because one way that you can reduce and or heal inflammation or an overactive inflammatory response in your body is to hyperdose or increase your whole food nutrition. Okay, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, and active hepatitis. Guys, any questions or concerns, please, if you need me to go over anything again, let me know, drop it in the comments. I know I'm talking fast, just trying to get through a lot of information for you, but please, please, please feel free to ask me anything. All right, so foods that cause inflammation that we all eat every single day, most of us. All right, sugar, we already talked about that. So I actually have a free 5-day sugar detox that's available on my website. It's going to be coming down pretty soon. So head over there right now and grab it before it changes. So sugar. So be careful when you're reading your ingredient. I talked to you guys, I think that was 2 videos ago, maybe 3, right? Where I talked about the sugar list. So they're the whole sugar list. But if you download the sugar detox, that same sugar list is in there. It's a little more comprehensive. So it'll be very helpful for you to understand the different forms and different titles that sugar is given, so it doesn't sound as bad. But sugar can actually destroy your body at a cellular level. And that's why, what was I talking about? Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is actually caused by processed sugar. So that's why it's so detrimental, because sugar destroys your cellular biology. It just does, in a way that is difficult to repair. I can't say you can't repair it, but it's difficult to repair. So saturated fats, like trans fats, okay? These are often found in fast food products, right? Because it's preservatives. So that's why you can put that McDonald's burger and then fries in the car. We've all seen the little video where it doesn't break down for a whole year and it looks the same. It just got dry. Can you imagine what that's doing in your body? Woo! So trans fats, fast foods, fried stuff, processed foods, frozen breakfast products, frozen food products, things like that. If they're not whole food nutrition. So I'm not saying if you go buy some broccoli and then you put it in your freezer, all of a sudden it's bad for you. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about food that is marketed as food, but you know it's not real food. When it says, oh, this is just a veggie mix, and then you look on the back and the ingredients are this long, when all you see is broccoli, carrots, and peas, and you're like, well, why is there this many ingredients? That's what I'm talking about. That's not whole food, and that's not whole food nutrition. It's not going to be recognized by your body, which means you're not going to be able to create the cells that are needed in order to keep you healthy and wealthy. Okay. So cookies, cakes, crackers, donuts, all of that stuff. So in particular, hydrogenated oils. And I want to mention that hydrogenated oils, because trans fats can still be in vegan food. I don't want you guys to fall for that. They're understanding, our big pharma and our FDA is understanding, oh, okay, they're trying to get healthy now. So we're going to make vegan food, but vegan food can still be fast food. Vegan food can still be high in trans fat. Vegan food can still be high in sugar, processed sugar, and it can still be damaging to your body. So I don't want you to fall for that, okay? So that's why I want you to focus on whole food nutrition. I know it sounds very ambiguous. Stick with me. I'll continue to talk with you about it. Whole foods that your body can recognize, they're bioavailable for your body, and your body can actually create cellular biology from it that will actually protect you and allow you the opportunity to continue to be healthy and wealthy. Okay, so omegas that are not plant-based. I know that that's very confusing. So let me tell you why. Again, I'm not trying to make you be vegan. I'm not trying to change your dietary lifestyle, except for whole food nutrition. I want you to have whole food nutrition. But I want you to understand a lot of our oceans have dealt with a lot of trauma. A lot of the omegas that we get were from fish products, animal products, even algae. But if they come from an area, which is where most of them do, if they come from an area that's not protected, if they come from an area that's not heavily regulated, and if they come from an area where there's toxicity in the water, it's going to be contained in whatever omega supplement that you were using. So if there's a toxic fish, yes, it may still have some omega fatty acids in it, but those omegas have been stained with toxicity. So now you're getting a high level of omegas, but they're toxic omegas, so they're not going to benefit your body. That's the kind of stuff I want you to think about. So think about where those supplements are coming from. Think about where those foods are even coming from. If you're still eating fish or things like that, you need to know where your food is coming from, okay? So refined carbohydrates, white flour products in particular. Now, I know that gluten-free and gluten sensitivity and celiac diseases and all of that stuff seems like it's new and it just came up. So the reason that happened is because previously our gluten products, our white flour products were not genetically modified. For a very long time, they weren't. Then all of a sudden they were. As a result of the genetic modification of those foods, anything that came from those foods that were previously genetically modified, our body doesn't recognize. So we're not just getting white flour. That's why the cakes taste different than when grandma used to make them, right? Certain flours are different, right? You cook certain things and you're like, well, my grandmother used to make this recipe. It didn't look like this, or wasn't this tough, or it didn't smell like this, right? Some of us know. We've been in the kitchen with our grandmothers or grandfathers who cook and bake and things like that, and things are just different. So it's because a lot of our foods, a lot of our food products have been genetically modified to keep up with supply and demand. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's somebody's lying or somebody's trying to get you to buy into something, or everyone all of a sudden has gluten issues. It's because it's not the same gluten. So before, it probably actually was a real source of gluten or wheat gluten or vital wheat gluten, whereas now you're most likely getting a genetically modified portion of that, which is damaging and highly inflammatory to our gut lining, which is going to cause you leaky gut issues, which is going to increase your toxicity, which is going to allow you the opportunity for more inflammation. Inflammation leads to disease, and then we're back on the rat train, right? I told you guys. So be very, very careful about your refined carbohydrates and your white flour products, okay? MSG, so it's in a lot of, again, fast foods, South Asian foods or Asian foods, fast foods, soy sauce, try to go with tamari or aminos, things like that. Prepared soups, anything with a high shelf life is going to have probably some MSG in it. Now, this isn't new information, but it can cause you some serious issues with inflammation, and it can highly impact your liver. So that the liver information is new, and that's relatively new within the past 8 years or so, that MSG can affect your liver and cause you a lot of liver issues. So please, please, please be very careful. Now listen, y'all, there are some companies that does make fast foods that are more responsible, but I want you to understand, we talked about this before, that these are still businesses. Think about that. So yes, they can give us all these wonderful commercials and they can make us so happy about, oh, that's good, I'm going to eat there more often. This is still a business, okay? So yes, maybe you can try out whatever their new product is, because maybe it looks like it's more responsibly sourced. But remember, this is still fast food and this is still a business. This does not need to be a meal. Let's just make this a snack from time to time. So I really want you to think about that. No, it doesn't mean you can't have your favorite donut or your favorite cookie or, you know, that burger from Mel's on Six. Like, it just does not need to be a meal. It needs to be like a snack in the grand scheme of your life. I really want you to think more cognitively about that, okay?
Mhm.
All right, so casein. So casein is a protein that has been taken from milk products or animal products, but because it's modified so much in order to isolate it, it is genetically modified, and therefore when it gets into your body, it isn't processed in a way that would be beneficial for your body. So I don't know if a lot of you use casein, but casein can be found in a lot of protein shakes, nutrition shakes, meal replacements, anything like BCAAs, things like that to help you get through a workout or make you feel awake or things like that. So again, I've told you guys before, I would say to go ahead and stay away from that kind of stuff. There are natural forms of things that can give you energy, fresh whole juices, sea moss, what else? Making sure that you're eating the right amount of foods. Raw foods are really, really healthy for that. So there are so many other options in regards to getting your energy levels up. Usually if your energy levels are low, if you're dealing with fatigue or chronic fatigue, it's probably because you have some inflammation in your body anyway. So starting off with a detox, getting you some whole food nutrition, your energy is going to go through the roof. You're probably going to be sleeping better at night anyway. So think about that. Don't spend your money on those types of things when you can actually spend your money on better quality foods that are going to support your body and allow you the opportunity to live in the fullness that you truly desire for yourself. Okay. Okay, so aspartame is what I was taught, but it can be also called aspartame, which is a biological foreign chemical sweetener. So because it's a chemical sweetener, it still gives you the same response in your brain that a non-chemical sweetener would. But what it's actually causing you is inflammation, addiction, and it's actually triggering your amygdala. And you don't want there to be an amygdala overload. Amygdala overloads or amygdala inflammation can cause a whole lot of issues within our body. So that's a brain that's going to be in your brain, your amygdala in your brain. And amygdala inflammation can actually cause you issues in regards to aggression, negative thoughts, depression, metabolic issues. There's so many different things that can go on in regards to your amygdala. So aspartame or aspartame, whichever way you'd like to pronounce it, artificial sweetener. If you see it, it's in a lot of gum, it's in a lot of candies, it's in a lot of things that we're often addicted to and we don't quite know why. Like we miss a certain flavor or we can smell it and we don't necessarily know what it is. It's probably the aspartame or aspartame because it's created to be addictive, even though it is a toxic substance. I told you guys, sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. Okay, be very, very careful in regards to sugar and these types of sugar products. And then alcohol. So alcohol is such a huge burden on the liver. Guys, I'm not talking about a drink every now and then. I'm not even talking about a sip or you hanging out with your girlfriends. I'm not talking about your brunch. I'm not talking about your poker game or anything like that. I'm talking about you making this a part of your daily lifestyle or you making this a part of your daily escape. This is when it is problematic for you. But again, get back to those core values. What am I doing here? Does this drink align with what I'm desiring for myself? I'm not out celebrating New Year's in Dubai and having a drink. That's different because that's aligning with my core values for brilliance, right? But if I'm really taking this drink and I'm trying to mask some pain or I'm trying to comfort myself or I'm trying to knock myself out or I really just want to go to sleep or my heart hurts or whatever is actually going on, that's a whole nother subject. And I would really prefer that you take the opportunity, figure out some new core values for yourself, heal that area of inflammation, and choose the best for yourself. You deserve best than just better, more than just better. I want you to choose the best option for yourself. And it's not going to be to cover up pain. It's actually going to be to deal with what's actually going on. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll drop them in there for me. All right. So I was going to talk a little bit about NSAIDs, but I think that'll take too long. Let's talk about anti-inflammatory foods that can help you. Guys, again, if you have any questions, let me know. I don't see anything on either. So let's get into foods that actually can heal, restore, rebuild inflammation that you may have in your body. Green leafy vegetables, make sure they're whole, make sure they're real, and make sure that they're not GMO. So they're huge for cellular biology, cellular restoration. They're also good for, they have anti-inflammatory flavonoids that will actually help to soothe and repair the gut lining. Then also, I told you guys about essential oils. Essential oils are amazing. So they actually can get into your body, pass through your cellular membrane, push out toxicity, and allow you the opportunity for more nutritional absorption. Okay, that is amazing. That doesn't happen very often. That is why it is important for you to get whole food nutrition. Trying a company like the Juice Plus Whole Food Nutrition, because there's essential oils in there. Let me tell you about essential oils, you guys. You know when you peel an orange or you peel a grapefruit and you get all that oil all over your hand? That's essential oils, right? That's essential oils. That's what I'm talking about. It can actually, and then by the time you you rub it or you wash it off and it's still like a layer or it protects your hands for a couple days or you can still smell it. That is how
Lemon.
strong essential oils are. Yeah, that's how strong essential oils are. And you know how when you can peel and you don't even, it's not even in your mouth yet, but you smelled it and now you can taste it passing through your cellular membrane. I don't want you guys to think I'm making this stuff up. We've all experienced it, but we didn't know what it was. So that on a larger scale inside of your body, pushing toxicity out of your body and allowing you the opportunity to absorb more nutritional density is always going to be amazing for you. It's always going to be such an awesome opportunity to heal your body. And it's detoxification on a very mild level, which is what you need. A little bit of detoxifying every single day so that when you do the larger detoxifying, you're actually getting that deep cleaning that you truly desire and need for yourself. Okay. So bok choy is known as a Chinese cabbage. It's an awesome source of antioxidants, and it has more than 70 antioxidant substances in it. Just a bok choy, I know, right? More than 70 antioxidant opportunities in it. So it's really, really good, really, really good for your skin. It'll help. It's an anti-carcinogenic, anti-inflammatory, and then it's also an antibacterial. So getting you some bok choy. I know it doesn't look all that appealing and we only eat it when we probably eat some South Asian or Asian food, but try it out. Like chop it up, put it in something else. Like today I had a romaine and bok choy stir fry. So just try some things out, put some garlic in there, drizzle a little sesame oil. Sesame is very, very good for your body and your skin.
That
Drizzle a little
sounds
sesame oil.
good.
You're
I
hilarious.
on that. I didn't see a post on that. I need to see that.
You're so, I was hungry. Okay. I'll give you a post later. I'll try to get it done. But yes, please do that. And then celery. So celery is awesome. So I know recently we also had all of this craze about celery juice and all that good stuff. Listen, y'all, celery juice is not yummy. I don't care what anybody says. Like I'm vegan and I'm telling you it's not ew. Like nobody wants to just drink celery juice. But it's really, it's really, really good for you. So try to mix it with something unless you like celery. Sorry. Me and that veggie are not cool all the time in regards to juice. But if you like it, then go ahead and get you some celery juice because it's really, really good for your body. So it's one of the things it's most amazing for is helping to regulate your blood pressure. So if you're having blood pressure issues, if you're having diabetes issues, metabolic issues, kidney issues, circulatory issues, celery juice or celery is going to be amazing. Again, you can cook it. Make sure you don't cook it to death because then it goes into something else. But steaming it, mixing it in your certain foods. If you need a little bit of crunch in something, adding it to it. So making sure there's every opportunity you can to get the best whole food nutrition option. Remember, I talked to you guys a little bit about that. But it's awesome at reducing the inflammation in your body, improving your blood pressure as well as your cholesterol. So it's really, really good for metabolic issues. Okay. Beets are awesome. Guys, for a long time, I wouldn't even admit that I liked beets because I just felt like, ew, it's beets. But beets are really, really good, particularly pickled beets. I know that sounds super strange, but because beets are so full of antioxidants and they're high anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, and so they can repair your body very well. They can repair cellular damage. Mixing that with a fermentation actually can repair a lot of the gut-lined issues that we possibly have in regards to leaky gut, issues with constipation or even diarrhea, and then also antioxidants, which keeps us all young and fresh and all that good stuff. Okay. Oh, it's also high in magnesium. So if you're having any issues, like I said, with constipation and or diarrhea, it'll actually help to regulate all those levels with this good amounts of calcium and all kinds of good stuff. So that's really good for you. Also kidney stones if you're having kidney stones, but that coupled with, so you could do like a beet and celery because you can get the sweetness. That would be really good, especially if you're having metabolic disorders in your body. And it's good for detoxifying as well. Broccoli, guys, I eat broccoli all the time. Broccoli is so yummy. So broccoli is amazing. It actually has more protein than steak. So if you're interested, people always ask me where I get my protein from. I get my protein the same way that animals get their protein. Animals don't eat, most animals don't eat each other. They get their protein from plant-based products. So you're getting a direct source. You're cutting out the middleman. So that's what I want you guys to really think about. I know that this world is set up in a way that makes you think that you need animal products, but you're actually eating the middleman. Think about that. Not to make it sound weird or gross, but we're being honest about our food. You're actually eating the animal that ate the protein that you need. It'd be better for you to just bypass and get a better source of protein. Just saying. Okay. So so broccoli is high antioxidant. It's got key flavonoids, carotenoids, anti-inflammatory food, high in protein, anti-carcinogenic. So it's super, super awesome, you guys. All right, blueberries, same thing, high in antioxidants, flavonoids, quercetin. It's a berry. You need all those good phytonutrients and all of those essential oils, parts that we necessarily wouldn't eat of many foods, but many people will eat blueberries. And blueberries are such a concentrated, like little powerhouse of goodness to get into your system where you're reducing inflammation or just in a regular way anyway, just getting it in there. It helps to feed your gut bacteria. Your good gut bacteria, and then also allow you the opportunity to shed any of that negative bacteria that you have. Pineapples are always awesome. Be very, very careful with pineapples because they're highly, they allow you the opportunity to detoxify at a higher level. So remember I told you about my tongue. They got in there and handled that business real quick. So really, really be careful about that. So one of my favorite detox drinks is parsley and pineapple. I know it sounds super boring. It tastes so good, you guys. So parsley is really, really good for your body. It's a green, so it's automatically going to get in there and do what greens do. Greens are our powerhouses. They have all of the amazing things that we need in regards to our body. But that coupled with the pineapple, because pineapple has such an intense digestive enzyme in your body, it's going to cleanse out all of your mouth. It kind of gets that dead layer of cells that you may have. In my case, I had a lot of issues on my tongue or toxins that were on my tongue. It draws that bacteria out and kind of pushes it out through your system. I added some essential oils in there so that allowed it to get through my cellular membrane. So really think about that. Any opportunity you can nourish yourself, I want you to nourish yourself. You guys, think about it. Putting these foods together. I want you to think about it as a part of your anti-inflammatory super pack for yourself every single day, even if it's just one time a day where you're really trying to focus on what can I do to make this meal more anti-inflammatory. Listen, watch this video again. Go get the sugar detox that I have on my website. And I really want you to think cognitively about how you can support your brilliant body and what it knows to do instinctively, what it knows to do normally and naturally. All right. I think that was my last slide. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Ask any questions if you have any right now. And I'm just going to go over my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanted to share. Cute and Carmack. Okay. No, that was everything. Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions. Let me make sure I addressed all of the questions that I had. Okay. All right. So you know what? Actually, let's quickly talk about, you talked about your poop not being a full poop. So let's talk a little bit about that. So your poop should be at least 12 inches. I know that sounds crazy and some of y'all are like, excuse me. so yes, every single time. I know. Guys, you're not going to be in there for very long because your body is going to be supported. You're going to be getting whole food nutrition. You're going to be getting enough water, but you should be pooping at least 12 inches 3 to 4 times a day. You got to get all the good stuff in, and you got to be able to push the waste that you don't need in your body out. If you're not pooping enough, you're going to be creating an opportunity for your body to not be able to reduce its toxicity, which means you're going to have an increased level of toxicity in your body. That's going to cause inflammation. You guys know where I'm going with this. You're going to learn it. One day it's going to click. You're going to be like, that's why I'm sick. I remember what Ty said. So I want you to get this. So backed up constipation. The constipation is going to create more toxicity in your body. Toxicity is going to create inflammation. Inflammation is going to lead to diseases. That's just how it works, you guys. So I want you to make sure you're getting enough water, getting enough high quality foods, making sure that you're supporting your body. You can feel, in your digestive tract when things are not working the way that they should. Now, I know a lot of you may not be aware of how your digestive tract works. I think I talked about it in the first couple of videos, so we can kind of quickly go over that. So of course, peristalsis, I want you to think about that word. Peristalsis is the movement that your mouth makes when you chew. That movement travels all the way through your body. So when your food gets into your throat, it creates a bolus. Your peristalsis continues to kind of make it really compact. It mixes with digestive enzymes, squishes it all the way down. We don't necessarily feel it unless something goes wrong. And then we're like, oh, that feels uncomfortable. But that's usually when we feel the peristalsis. We sometimes can feel it kind of drop into our belly. Our stomach is right underneath our left rib. So it's not in the middle where everybody thinks. It's not by your belly button when you're like, my stomach hurts. Usually when you have someone and they say that their stomach hurts and they grab right in that middle, it's usually a digestive problem. It's an abdomen. Their abdomen is what they're grabbing. So that's your small intestine. So if you're having pain there, you're having pain in your small intestines. It's not your stomach. So those are two different areas. So then you need to think about what's actually going on. So be very careful about that. So in your stomach, you have 4 different areas of your stomach, and they do different things. They allow you the opportunity to add in more hydrochloric acid, digestive enzymes. Things are churning in there or blending it up really good, taking out all of the nutrients that we need, getting things separated, gets into your small intestine. There's 3 different parts. So then this is where you're going to be absorbing the nutritional density from your foods. So guys, you do not absorb nutrition in your stomach. Your nutrition gets absorbed in your small intestines, okay? So that's where all of your nutrition gets absorbed. So once we make that good old liquid of vitamin that you just made with all of your food, gets into the small intestines, now we start to, your body starts to extract any nutrients that you had from there. So grab some protein, vitamin K, C, D, all that good stuff, some phytonutrients, any of those digestive enzymes, are helping to break things down if you need to. If you took some essential oils, your essential oils are passing through that cellular membrane to help you get more nutrition into your body, gets into your large intestine. The only thing that gets digested in your absorbed in your large intestine is the additional water that you may need. And then what's left behind is waste. The waste is your poop. Now, if it's too dry, that means you're absorbing too much water or you're not getting enough water. And if it's too wet, then that means that you're probably not getting enough nutrition and or your digestion is not functioning optimally because of you either taking a laxative tea or taking some type of laxative, or you've damaged yourself because you've taken laxatives over time. So that's where that tends to happen. So if things are happening too fast, that's probably where you're having a digestion issue, okay? If things are happening too slow, you may not be getting enough nutrition in order for you to produce a quality poop. So it is what it is, you guys. So it's supposed to be quality in and waste out, but even your waste is supposed to be high quality waste. So you should still have a good, healthy poop. That's why I'm saying you should be pooping several times a day. The absence of poop either means you're not eating enough of whole food nutrition, and or you're just not able to physically process your food the way that you need to. So don't think that just because you're not pooping, oh, okay, I'm good, or you're not pooping as often, oh, I'm good, or maybe you're pooping and it's really, really wet. Those are all issues that you don't want to have. So I really don't want you to be squeamish about your body. Your body is doing what it knows to do instinctively, and it should be healthy. The same way we check babies when they're poops, like, oh, that doesn't look so good, or that's not digested. It's the same thing. It's a diagnostic tool. So I really don't want you to think about yourself as gross, or that was weird, or I want to look. Like, this is a part of your body. So please, please, please be more cognitive about what's going on with your brilliant body. So guys, that is it. That is all I have for you. It was super awesome to share all of that nerdy stuff. You know, I love it. But let me know if you have any questions. Let me make sure I answered all of your questions. So you asked about herbs because you've gained weight. I know that you don't necessarily know me, but I think you kind of know where I'm going with this. So boo, your body is brilliant. It doesn't matter how much weight you've gained. So I want you to listen to me right now. So your weight gain is your body's communication with you. So whatever happened, whatever went down, even if it was pandemic, that's what your body was communicating with you. This doesn't work. Maybe you need to be more active. Maybe you need to be less active. Maybe your body's telling you that being in the house created more toxicity in your body, but I don't want you to be so focused on weight that you're willing to just take something to lose weight. So what I want you to do is focus on your whole food nutrition. And I don't want you to be so focused on your weight that you think that that's where your value is. So I know that that sounds cliche, but I know that you haven't necessarily seen my videos and know how I roll. Weight loss is a side effect of a healthy lifestyle. So I don't want you to focus on weight. I want you to focus on changing your lifestyle. I don't ever want you to have to diet again. You guys, I was on diets before. I hated them. I hated every minute of them. I don't know any one person who's like, oh, I love that diet. Even keto, that's a diet. Weight Watchers, that's a diet. Nobody needs to be on a diet. There are so many things in this world, in this earth, that God has given us in abundance to heal, nourish, restore, and enjoy in these brilliant bodies. There's no reason for us to be limiting those things. We're supposed to be living in abundance. So if you're having a problem with overeating, it's probably because of something else. So maybe you're highly stressed. Maybe there's something else that was going on in your life. Maybe somebody said something to you and it's coming out in the way that you choose to nourish your body. But it is not about your weight. So I don't want you to think about your weight. Yes, maybe you gained 50 pounds. Oh, well, that's 50 more pounds of fabulousness that you have now. But what I want you to do is focus on nourishing your body, supporting your body to release the toxicity that you've probably gained. So I want you to think about it in that way. How can I reduce my toxicity, and how can I support my body in reducing this toxicity? So I really don't, I know you asked for an herb to lose weight, but that's not what I do. I don't teach weight loss, and I don't want you to focus on weight loss because it's dangerous. And I also think that it's an insult to your brilliant body. Your body gained weight because it's communicating something with you. So I'd rather you focus on what's actually going on in your brilliant body than to focus on trying to get a quick fix to lose some weight. So I hope that wasn't offensive to you. Super sorry. But I want you to think about your body in a more brilliant way. Your body's communicating something with you, and I'd rather you focus on nourishing that communication than to try to diminish what your body is doing, which is gaining weight, which is normal. That's a normal part of the process. It's a normal part of communicating. It's just not beneficial in our society, but it's beneficial holistically because an opportunity for you to nourish your body. So I hope that answers your question. But thank you so much for watching. Please let me know. Oh, there's another question. Okay, you said no. I'm not sure what that goes to, so let me know. But let me know if I answered your question. All right. Any other questions, y'all? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Looks like you had another one. Oh, there it is. What are some whole foods? Whole foods for something specifically, or just whole foods in general? So whole foods in general are foods that are left in their whole state. So they're not genetically modified. They're real foods, whole, organic. They don't have any additives in them. So in a whole, like if you go get some orange juice, you need to know that it is orange juice. Like I want you to read on the back. It should just say organic orange. Like that is a whole food. That's what I want you to be looking for. Now we can go further with that, but I really want you to focus on whole foods and whole food nutrition. Now there's a whole food nutrition option that I offer that I recommend that all of my clients have, and I recommend that all of my friends and family have as well. So that you can find more information about. It's called Juice Plus. It's a whole food nutrition. So all it is fruits and vegetables. They blend them up. They remove the water portion of it, and you're getting the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, the phytonutrients, the essential oils. You're getting the seed, you're getting the peel, you're getting the pith, things that we don't naturally or normally eat. It's farm to capsule, so it's raised on a farm. It's raised without any toxins. It's raised without antibiotics, hormones, pesticides, all that good stuff. And it's all grounded up, things that you wouldn't eat, things that I don't even eat. And it's making sure that you get at least 30 to 45 fruits and vegetables every single day. If you're taking, if you choose all 3 or all 4 of the whole food options. So that's what whole food nutrition is. And that's an opportunity for you to fill in the gaps. But in regards to your diet, I want you eating whole, real foods. So real foods in their natural and real state. Yes, you can cook them. Yes, you can make it taste good, all that good stuff, or you can add a little ginger and flavor and all that good stuff, but real food, not focusing on genetically modified foods, not focusing on fast foods, not focusing on foods that are damaging or inflammatory to the body, like we were talking about today. Let me know if you have any other questions. All right, Pope, you can take it away.
All right. Well, peace, love, and blessings. Until the next time, peace.
Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, I'm going to take some time to log out in case you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. I loved this topic. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
So let me take this off. All right, you guys. Thank you. Be brilliant because you are. See you next time.